Welcome back. Hope you're having a good morning. Well, a lot of stocks to talk upon. We have Deven Choksey, the MD at DRChoksey Finserv, who joins us on the show. Hi, Deven. Good morning and good to see you in. Let's talk about Swiggy. They had that stake in Rapido. They've exiting, they're selling that stake for around 2,400 crores thereabouts. So they'll get some cash in their books. But I think the market had sniffed it earlier. But what's your view? That valuation gap with Eternal does continue. So, how would you approach this stock?
Hi, Nigel. Good morning. Well, I think they are doing everything possible to build the balance sheet, I suppose. And getting rid of, I think, some of the investments definitely, I think, is part of that activity as it appears. Your observation is absolutely, I think, to the point about the valuation gap between the Eternal and the Swiggy. In my viewpoint, I think Eternal long back, I think, started correcting its balance sheet strengthening exercise. And Swiggy is possibly entering into that phase now. So it might continue for a while as we see it. I think, nonetheless, as a consumer, you enjoy both the technology platforms. I think that's not a challenge. But the fact is that I think the valuation-wise, Eternal stays at an elevated level. And that's where probably catch-up will have to happen through the balance sheet strengthening exercise as I see it happening now first week.
That's Swiggy. Deven, hi, morning. I don't know if you could hear our conversation with Mr. Modi of Lodha. Not really a question only on that stock or company, but in general, there are those who believe that the luxury end of the housing market is now looking a little tired. So, give us some sense, either the Mumbai-based players or Bangalore-based players, do you still have any preferences? Would you look at buying any real estate stock at this point?
Yes, Selvi, good morning. I find that I think the redevelopment part of the story is catching up very fast. So those companies which are basically picking up the business, I think, on the redevelopment side, for them, the business continues because on one side, I think they relocate the existing owners into the same newly constructed premises. And on the other side, I think they don't invest money in the land bank. Firstly, I think the requirement of money is basically used for the purpose of development only. So that's where this model is working well in my viewpoint, I think, in some of the cases. Of course, I think some of the larger companies do have the redevelopment kind of projects along with. But by and large, I think they are basically working with the land bank kind of a proposition. So that remains slightly expensive one. In my viewpoint, as long as I think you generate sufficiently high amount of margin on your construction activity, then probably I think you will be selling through smoothly, even if there is a tough situation on selling side as far as the premium housing is concerned. Fortunately, for the ultra luxury segment and the luxury segment, which is above the premium segment of housing, I think the business condition remains fortunately, I think, more rewarding. At least in the select pockets like Mumbai, you are finding that some of the companies like Lotus, they are doing a relatively better job comparatively keeping that kind of a focus. So remain positive, but selectively on the real estate space.
Yeah, got that. Any thoughts on Swiggy? Deven, there are two bits of news. Okay, I think we did discuss Swiggy. What else? Where else are you finding action? I don't know if you have track a name like BF Utilities, Deven. The story there is land. It's been for years. It was part of Nimesh's D Street chatter yesterday. Stock was up 10.5%. I don't know, any thoughts or... I'm sure over the years you've looked at it.
Yes, Prashant, I think I've always looked at the company and always found more disappointment looking at that company. Anyway, I think at this point of time, there is no particular viewpoint except, I think, what we keep on hearing about the land bank. But no viewpoint on a company per se, at least at this point of time.